Hi everyone, Catherine Grill here. I'm the CEO and one of the founders of Neolth. Today I'm going to be walking you through how to find and access certain content in our community section. Now this section has a bunch of blogs and videos made by experts in the field. It could be doctors and therapists, other professionals, as well as content from students themselves that's used to educate about mental health and break down stigma. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll jump right into it. So to get to the community section on the educator platform for teachers, just sign in at cloud.neolth.com, hit community, and you'll see both expert advice and student stories sections. I show you in another video how to use the different filters and search features on here, but today I'm going to focus on certain types of content around exploring identity. Now we know for young people, developing their sense of self and exploring their identity is a really important developmental milestone. So we have a lot of content on Neolth specific to that. I'm going to open all the filters here on the left-hand side and walk you through some of that content today. So the first category around identity is literally called Exploring Identity. And you'll see there's lots of different content on here. Again, all of this is moderated, so nothing goes on the platform before Neolth's team of behavioral health specialists reviews it. There is some content about gender and sexual identity, if that's something that your students are needing support with from different specialists in the field. You can watch one video at a time, or you could scroll through and watch an entire series. There's some great content about finding your learning style. For example, with students with dyslexia. And there's also just content around building up self-confidence as a young person and feeling good enough in a society where there's a lot of expectations and pressure to be perfect. So you can scroll down and explore all the content in this section, or you can go back up, look through the filters. There's another section called Loving Your Body that also helps students explore their identity and find their sense of self and really build up self-confidence in how they look. We know this has been a big issue for young people, really of all genders, around body image and body image dysmorphia. So there is a lot of content on this. Some of it is specifically about eating disorders, so public health information. Important for students to know about this. Some of the warning signs, for example, how to get help. And there's just also information around loving your body. A lot of students go through periods where they're not feeling confident, where they say that they hate their body. So we acknowledge that that's a real thing that they experience and start to walk them through how to shift that mindset. So you can always go back to this section throughout the month and see new content as it's added. Another section that's great for students who are just exploring their identity and sense of self is our self-care section. This has a lot of content, whether it's from managing that sense of perfectionism, building confidence, organizational skills in school, really building up those life skills that young people might need some help with, decision making, of course. There's even some videos about neuroscience of behaviors for those students who really like to dive into the science, building up career path as well. So there's pretty varied content from different creators here. So we looked at a couple different filters today. One was called Exploring Identity, one was called Loving Your Body, and the other Self-Care for Empowerment. And all of this content here can be really helpful for students who are exploring their sense of self, whether it's something like sexual identity or just learning styles or career path or building confidence, body image as well. So there's a lot of great content on here that you can use with your students in the classroom or that they can watch at home for homework. Now, I also want to remind you that besides this expert advice section, we do have a student story section, and that has similar content filters. So use these filters here on the side. You can click into exploring identity, loving your body, and self-care for empowerment. So a lot of content about becoming more confident, things like time management, organization in school, again, from real students on Neolth. Things around sexual identity, coming out to parents. We've seen that's really important to young people. Even competition with other peers. And you'll also find content around culture as well, because that's very important to anyone, but especially to young people. We're finding as it's related to their mental health and how their family has different expectations around mental health and scholastic achievement. So there's some great content from our students around culture as well and how that affects their sense of identity. So these are all great videos and blogs that you can access on Neolth's community section, both from the expert advice and the student stories module. Again, not meant to diagnose or treat any specific condition, but you can really think of these as educational public health videos, both from experts in the field and from students themselves, that your students can use in the classroom to learn about mental health and to break down stigma. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.